Manga-Waido.
My name is Masaki Ono. I work for a small system development company with less than 50 employees. I'm the chief engineer. Our company isn't big, but we have contracts with major companies. We've gone through many ups and downs ever since we started 15 years ago. The business world has changed since I first came here. Many companies are interested in digitizing their systems. My company helps them create better systems, as well as update the systems whenever it's needed. We have many deadlines to meet. We stay up late when we're busy since we can't keep our clients waiting. However, the pay is pretty good. I also like the people I work with. I don't hear about a lot of companies that keep the employees happy, so I'm glad that I'm here.
Mr. Ono, I have a phone call for you from Wide Corp. He didn't mention who he was.
Oh, okay, I got it. However, there's just this one thing. Wide Corporation. It's a major company that makes food products. I didn't want to answer the phone, but I had no choice since they're one of our clients. I picked up the phone, and I instantly knew it wasn't going to go well.
Oh, hi, it's Kiara. So the system update we were talking about the other day, can you speed it up? We need it a week earlier than the original deadline.
Well, you already asked us the same thing before, and we shortened the deadline by 5 days. I don't think we can finish it any earlier. I don't have any problems with my company, but I do have a problem with this guy, Kihara. Wide Corporation has been one of our big clients for a long time, but for some reason, they started calling me instead of going through the department in charge of talking to clients. He always calls to ask if we can shorten the deadline. To be honest, I get a headache every time I get a phone call from him.
It's your job to do something about it. If you can't do it, I'm terminating our contract with you. There are a million others that are dying to do what you do for us.
Can you talk to the sales department about that? I'm just an engineer. Everything he says needs to go through Shinozaki, the employee in charge of handling Wide Corporation. I tell him to talk to the sales department every time he calls, but he doesn't seem to hear me at all. Instead...
Listen to me. We'll be waiting for the completed update a week earlier than the original deadline.
Please, wait a second!
If you don't finish it, we're through.
And then he always hangs up after finishing what he has to say. I guess I should tell Shinozaki about what happened. Not that it'll solve any problems for me, but I gotta report to him. I'm sorry. Can you finish it a week earlier? Okay then. I knew this would happen. Wide Corporation has been our client for a very long time. We need the income we get from Wide Corporation. If we don't, our company will suffer a lot. I know that, but still. I prepared myself for the upcoming few days. I don't think I'll get any sleep. He tells us to move up the deadline every single time. Do they really need the update that fast? The jerk! In the end, I was able to finish the update a lot faster than we originally planned. One of the reasons was because while I was checking for errors in the system before the delivery...
Stop wasting time checking! Hurry up and get it to us!
I was confident there were no big errors in the system, but I didn't want to be blamed for minor errors after turning it in. I begged for a little more time, but...
Do you want us to cut you off?
I had no choice but to obey. He kept threatening to terminate the contract. Just as I expected, a few days later, Shinozaki received a phone call from Kihara complaining about the system. There were some minor errors in the system, and apparently, Kihara was furious. He wanted me to apologize to him in person. There was nothing I could do, so I got ready to face him. The error was fixable. It didn't even take an hour to get rid of. However, Kihara started telling us we needed to pay for the money the company lost while the system wasn't working.
Why would you turn it in before checking if there were no errors?
You're the one who told me to stop checking, you idiot! I almost yelled at him, but I managed to keep it in. All Shinozaki and I could do was sit there and apologize while he yelled at us. After he was done squawking at us, he...
Whatever. Anyways, I have something I need you guys to do for us. The department system service will be ending soon, so I need you guys to prepare a new management system for us. Oh, since you guys screwed up badly this time, you'll promise us a big discount, right?
Just as planned. I could tell that was what he was thinking when he was talking to us. Still, There was no way we could say no to him after causing so much trouble. I understand. We'll do our best to keep the prices down. We wouldn't be getting any profits from this job, but there wasn't anything we could do. After this incident, Kihara started calling us every chance he got to make ridiculous demands.
Other companies would have finished it by now. Can you speed it up? The thing I was talking about before. Can't you make it a little cheaper? Maybe I should consider other options.
He would call us every single day. Gosh, he is driving me crazy! Everybody at the office was helping us, but we were still forced to stay up late to finish everything by Kihara's deadline. What the heck happened to them? They weren't always like this. Wide Corp used to be such a nice client. Everything changed since Kihara came. It's all him, you know. According to Shinozaki, a woman used to be in charge of handling system development contracts. However, ever since Kihara came into the picture a year ago, everything changed. You know, the boss talked to me. He said that Wide Corporation was causing too much trouble for us. He gave me permission to refuse any orders Kihara gives us. This will be our last job. Let's just get through this one. Okay. We worked day and night to finish the system Kihara had requested. We visited Wide Corporation to install the system, but Kihara was waiting for us with...
My bad. I forgot about this. Can you squiggle this into the system too?
Kihara handed me a piece of paper. It was a request for specification changes in the system. This is not something we can squiggle in. The whole system is finished.
Just do as I say, man. When I say do it, you do it.
What Kihara was asking would take at least another week. We would have to create a new program to add to the completed system. Let me check with my supervisor. I can't give you an answer at the moment.
Why don't I go talk to your boss myself and tell them how uncooperative you are being?
I managed to put a pause in the conversation and called Shinozaki right away. He came rushing in shortly after. We need additional payment to complete this type of project. Shinozaki tried to convince Kihara just like me. Anybody could see that Kihara's demands were just impossible.
What? Have you forgotten how I forgave you for your mistakes the other day?
I remember, but if we don't raise the price, we will be in big trouble. Please, give us a few days to come up with a new cost estimate.
We're not paying anymore, no matter what you say. If you don't like it, just leave. We'll ask another company to do the job.
However, Kihara stubbornly insisted to keep the original price. He then started to threaten us, like he always did. He probably thought we would listen to him as always. This is ridiculous. We're not doing this. I wasn't the only one who thought that. Shinozaki looked at me, and we knew what we were going to say. I think it would be better for both of us if you asked another company to do the job.
What? Do you realize that the contract will be terminated?
Yes, we're aware of that. I will change the program back to the one you previously used.
Fine, go ahead and do it. You're going to regret this.
I couldn't understand why he could act so bullish. I canceled all the changes made to the system and left Wide Corporation with Shinozaki.
In case I haven't made it clear, we will never be calling you ever again!
I heard Kihara yelling something towards us, but we ignored him. Kihara probably thinks he can just call another company to ask them to do the job. But it's not gonna go as easy as he thinks. I was excited to see how things would turn out in a few months. About 6 months after our collision with Kihara,
We have a phone call from Wide Corporation.
Kihara called us just as we had expected.
Please, I don't care if it's the old system. We need it to be installed right away!
He was actually crying as he begged me. He told me how the previous system service had ended and everything had stopped moving. Everything was out of order and they were receiving endless complaints from everywhere. The whole company was a mess. Apparently, he called everywhere to ask other companies to do the job we were doing for them. None of the companies were willing to help him, and he got shut down every time. I knew why the companies refused. We have a long history with Wide Corporation. That's why we lowered the prices as much as we could for them. There was no way any other company would be willing to do what he asked for such low pay. I wish I could help you, but there's nothing I can do about it. We have clear orders from the boss to cut all ties with you.
Well, how about just one last time? You don't even have to make it. Just use some other company's system.
Another company's system? Why in the world would we do that?
Fine, then just make a new one as soon as possible. We'll pay you as much as you want.
You know, there are a million other companies out there waiting to ask us to make their systems for them. We don't need arrogant clients like you. Goodbye. I hung up the phone after making sure I got the last word. I saw Shinozaki getting a call from Kihara right after I hung up on him. I couldn't help but laugh when I saw Shinozaki hang up the phone after shutting him down. I only heard about this later on, but the reason why Kihara always asked us to move up the deadline was that he just sucked at managing schedules overall. He didn't want his boss to find out how incompetent he was. That's why he made us change the deadlines to fit his schedule so he wouldn't get in trouble. Obviously, Kihara was held responsible for everything that happened. He was sent to a branch in the middle of nowhere. Apparently, he messed up at his new office as well, and I heard that he resigned last month. A few days later, Kihara's boss came to apologize to us. We were able to resolve the situation with Wide Corporation. They reassigned the previous staff to work with us, and I haven't received any calls from Wide Corporation since. I'm so glad to be working with proper people again. I hope we can continue this healthy relationship with Wide Corporation.